How a regular police patrolling in Los Angeles changed this dog's life. It all started on a sunny morning, as Officer Mercado of the Los Angeles Police Department began his patrol shift. Like any other officer, he expected nothing out of the ordinary that day. The streets were filled with their usual hum, cars whizzing by, pedestrians hustling to work, and the never-ending pulse of the city. Mercado, along with his partner Officer Tavera, set off on their rounds, cruising through the streets of Los Angeles. But as they neared Hobart Boulevard, the mundane nature of their shift quickly began to change. The officers got out of their patrol car and began walking through the quiet neighborhood. As they moved through the street, Mercado noticed something strange. A small, scruffy puppy was quietly following him. At first, he didn't think much of it. But when he turned around, he was met with the sight of a little dog, no older than a few months, eagerly trailing behind him. Its big, bright eyes looked up at Mercado with innocent curiosity. It was as if the puppy had chosen him to follow. At first, Mercado was surprised, but the more he observed the little pup, the more it felt as if an unspoken connection had formed between them. The dog, though alone, seemed full of energy and joy, wagging its tail in a playful manner. Mercado looked around, wondering if anyone was searching for the dog. But there was no one else on the street, and the more he watched the pup, the clearer it became, this little dog had been abandoned. It was a sad thought, but one that Mercado could not ignore. The puppy had no one to care for it, and the officer felt a tug on his heart. Tavera, noticing the bond forming between Mercado and the dog, pulled out her phone to capture the moment. She took a few pictures and recorded a short video of the puppy following Mercado, sharing it later on the LAPD's social media accounts. The video quickly gained attention, with many people touched by the heartwarming sight of the police officer and the lonely puppy. The officers, unsure of what to do next, decided to name the dog Hobart after the street where they had found him. The name seemed to fit the small, spirited dog, and it wasn't long before Hobart became the talk of the neighborhood. It was clear that Hobart had chosen Mercado as his companion. The puppy followed him without hesitation, eager to be close to the officer. Despite their limited time together, the bond between them grew quickly. Mercado and Tavera knew they couldn't leave the pup alone. They decided to take Hobart into their patrol car, gently coaxing the dog inside. Hobart, who seemed to trust them instantly, jumped into the front seat as though it was the most natural thing in the world. The officers took Hobart to the station, hoping to find his owners. Sadly, they discovered he hadn't been lost but abandoned. His previous owners had given him up, leaving him to survive on the streets. Officer Mercado and Tavera were heartbroken by the news but knew Hobart deserved a better life than wandering alone in Los Angeles. Animal homelessness is a growing problem in the U.S., with many stray dogs and cats left without homes. Hobart was lucky to be found by compassionate people, but finding a loving home can be difficult. The officers took him to the Ghetto Rescue Foundation, giving him a chance for adoption. At the shelter, Hobart quickly won everyone over with his playful and loving nature. He enjoyed playing with other dogs and chewing on toys, and despite still learning potty training, he radiated joy. Although he was receiving care, Officer Mercado couldn't bear being apart from him. The bond they had formed was undeniable, and Mercado knew Hobart had already chosen him. Without hesitation, he decided to adopt the puppy. The adoption brought immense joy to both Hobart and Mercado. The little dog found his forever home, and Mercado gained a loyal companion. Their story gained attention, with many people admiring Mercado's selflessness. Though Hobart wasn't suited for police work, the LAPD playfully joked about him joining their canine unit. Mercado's decision highlighted the importance of adopting shelter animals, reminding everyone that giving a pet a loving home can change both their lives. For Hobart and Mercado, it was a life-changing moment they would cherish forever.